So with the Detroit Lions win over the Indianapolis Colts. Shout out to the chat, the fans, Detroit Lions fans in general, though, for showing out in every single road game. I don't even know how you guys afford it. The passion to do it alone, but also like a passion enough to spend the bread. Like, you guys got it. I don't know.
It's crazy.
You guys traffic on the low. I don't know what it is. You've been saving up for this moment. But shout out to you guys. Jared Goff walking out the field to Jared Goff chants in Indianapolis. Like, that's wild stuff, man. And that's like a resurging Colts team, too. Pat McAfee thought they had a chance. Pulled up for the game, front row.
Yeah, I saw Foxy there front row as well. I mean, this is what this team does. They beat bad teams. That's why I'm not worried about Thursday. They're going to beat a bad team. And they went out there and took care of business. The offense, it was slow to get started, but then they got into it and scored some points. And you can't say enough about this Aaron Glenn defense. 10 straight quarters without allowing a team to score a touchdown. It's just extremely impressive work. It's just extremely refreshing to have a defense play on this level at this caliber, and you know what you're going to get from them game in and game out, no matter who's out there. No matter if it's Kendall Vildor, no matter if it's Malcolm Rodriguez, Malcolm coming out there and scoring or having 7 solo tackles, 8 total tackles in a game that he comes back from injury and is thrusted into the starting lineup. It's truly a next man up mentality, and you see the defense thriving no matter who's out there.
Yeah, that was one spot I was never tripping, or we were ever tripping. I don't think anybody was ever tripping. Was a linebacker spot. I think we saw it through preseason. We just know Malcolm brought as a starting or linebacker his rookie year. Obviously, Jack Campbell's taking a step to, like, if you're talking about just PFF-wise, like top 10 linebacker in the league, top 11 linebacker in the league. Like, he's truly, like, showing his face or what he could be. David Long, a guy, a veteran piece who grabbed off the Dolphins that they dropped him just because of money. But he was a captain on that team beforehand. I read a little bit of his inside story, too. He's just an absolute dog as a human being as well.
Yeah.
The linebacking core, never was worried about. I think we have a high respect for Calvin Shepard. I also have high respect for Terrell Williams, which goes hand in hand with that linebacking core, because obviously those defensive linemen to eating up blocks for those guys to run through cleanly holes and make those tackles. But like you said, the secondary they probably want to have questions about, because yesterday there were some moments where you're like, jeez. Mm-hmm. And we were giving a little bit pushback last night for Herman Moore, the legendary Herman Moore, about this Detroit Lions defense. We were trying to celebrate it. We're trying to wave the flag. We're trying to praise the fact that Aaron Glenn hasn't allowed a single touchdown in 10 consecutive NFL quarters.
Yep.
And this is a league we watched Bryce Young and the Panthers take the KC Chiefs to the closing seconds of a game. Mm-hmm. They also have a pretty damn good defense, too. So I think no matter who it is, no matter the situation, this Detroit Lions defense is doing a damn good job. Players and all, and AG as well. But I also want to give credit to guys like Kirby Joseph. AG does drop schemes, but Kirby's out there making plays. He's grabbing those interceptions. Same with Brian Branch, although yesterday, not Brian Branch's best outing.
No, it wasn't. I mean, you didn't have any of those big game-flipping plays from your secondary, but with your defensive line playing the way it did, guys like Josh Pascal, Zadarius Smith, and then obviously the two big uglies in the middle just dominating that Colts offensive line, man.
Yeah, they got
Ali McNeil was throwing Quentin Nelson around like it was nobody's business. So you love seeing that. But, yeah, you didn't really have the big plays, the splash plays from Kirby Joseph or Brian Branch, but you didn't need them. You held the team to, without scoring a touchdown, 6 points in an NFL game.
I think it's 3 games in a row Detroit Lions haven't allowed a single point in the second half of these football games. Guys, that's big-time stuff. This isn't college football. Like, this doesn't happen in the NFL quite often.
Yeah.
Hats off.
Yeah, Branch almost had the big play, but Campbell got his fingers on the one, and then Branch was going to pick it. He gets hit, and then Carlton Davis, it slips through his hand, so that could have been a big interception
I forgot about
that one. But I think one of the reasons for Brian Branch is because you didn't have the 2 cornerbacks, your starting cornerbacks out there. Like, he wasn't playing as freely, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why he wasn't able to be the Brian Branch that we normally see. And it's the all-pro safety. Mm-hmm. I think he had to help out a lot more than he was used to. And plus, you have to deal with the absolute beast in AR that's running the rock.
I was gonna say.
When he went one-on-one with him,
he lost.
He lost for sure.
Yeah,
there were multiple times in that game where the Lions hit Anthony Richardson or got to Anthony Richardson either in the pocket or outside of the pocket, and 99% of quarterbacks go down on the way they hit him, like that Brian Branch hit, or a couple Levi hit him in the pocket where he would go down if it's anybody else.
Just dropped the ball, kept going.
Yeah, it's just 6'5", 240-pound Anthony Richardson, so he's going to bounce off some of those hits.
He's a fucking beast. But yeah, I'm with you on that, Nick. I was just getting ready to say that actually on the Brian Branch stuff. Like if you said a slow start or not the best game, I think he had to patrol down in the box a little bit because of AR, because the way they started that game was AR running the football. And then Carlton Davis did something interesting yesterday too. So obviously last week the Jacksonville Jaguars got off their field goal to start the game off. Same with the Indianapolis Colts. Well, Carlton Davis said, I guess in those opening drives, they try to be bend, don't break, so they can see the full game plan of the offense. Because typically when you're going in there with a script, you're going with the things you think is going to work against this defense. So they allow them to get that work in to kind of just expose their hand a little bit. Yeah, and you notice, I mean, it tales true as time because, yeah, they started off that field goal. Nothing against since the second half.
Yeah, it's...
And then AR even slowed down, too. He started the first drive, I think he had like 35 yards. The 39 and a half, if you were watching Friday, you guys would have made some bread. My dumbass forgot to put it in. But, yeah, after that, quiet.
And actually, to double on that, I mean, you guys could correct me if I'm wrong. I don't recall any of the picks that were made or interceptions were in the first quarter. Or they might not have even been in the first half. I think Branch
had one.
They might not have even been in the first half, if I recall. Most of them were second half, I believe.
I know Kirby had some clutch ones.
Yeah.
I think Branch had one of the first against the Cowboys, against Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
But I mean, it don't even matter. I mean, they'll pick the ball. The ball is there. Trust me,
Yeah.
them DBs will grab that fucking thing if it's out there. But I'm talking about just as a whole. Carlton Davis kind of
Right.
like, let's let that out, the cat out of the bag. Like, yeah, we're gonna let them go a little bit. And that's fucking crazy, bro.
That is crazy.
That they're that good. They can play that.
It's
play
like
with
an
their food a
anime
little
fight.
bit.
Like, come on, show me what you've got.
Literally,
Yeah.
give me your best shot.
Yeah, this is all you have. Ha. Like, hey, you gotta see what they're gonna do, so then you can expose them the rest of the game. Is a pretty wild mentality, but it's working, I guess.
It is working. I mean, shout out to AG, the fucking defensive genius he is. Because, yeah, once they expose that hand, he then tailors his defense to what they need to do to get it done. And that's even without Aiden Hutchinson, Alex Anzalone, yesterday without Terrion Arnold. At times, you've been without Brian Branch. Like, this guy, he's probably going to win, or at least should be for sure goddamn running for coordinator of the year.
He's 100% going to be coordinator of the year. He's been the best coordinator in the NFL. And you talk about, obviously, Aiden Hutchinson, that's the biggest loss, no doubt. But you forget all the ancillary pieces as well, like guys like Derek Barnes, John Kaminsky, Marcus Davenport, Pecco. Like, these guys were going to be big role players, rotational pieces in this defense. And they're the second best defense in the league. And they don't have their MVP. It's just crazy what Aaron Glenn's doing.
What do you say to the Herman Morris? This is kind of crazy to say about, like, you're playing Mason Rudolph, you're playing Mac Jones, a developing AR.
I say you play who lines up against you. You played C.J. Stroud, and you shut him down. You know, it's you play who is against you. You played the Minnesota Vikings, and you handled them pretty well. Played Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. Like, I'm not taking anybody for granted. Like, yeah, obviously Josh Allen is a better quarterback than Mason Rudolph, but you play who lines up against you, and they're taking care of business against the people that line up against them every single week.
Nick?
I mean, there's no question that is not top of the league quarterback talent, but like Spencer said, you have to, you saw what happened in the Commanders-Cowboys game. Like, you're going up against a backup quarterback. You have to take care of business. That's a game that they could not lose, and they lost it. You see the Detroit Lions obliterating teams. The Lions did not play well yesterday, and they won by 18 points, was it?
Yeah.
Like, that's what we're talking about right here. I don't give a shit who we play. We have to, we look dominant doing it, to be quite honest. That's where I'm at.
And people call them bad team merchants. They're second in the NFL in wins of teams over 500. So they also beat the good teams.
Yeah, is it the division rivals saying that? As we took it to the Packers at their home, we beat the Vikings at their place. We're about to, take care of business against the Bears. So, let the NFC North talk as much shit as they want. They know who the king is right now.
Yeah, one of the points Herman made yesterday, and actually I saw this in a couple. It's true. The Colts had over like 100-something yards taken away through penalties, but they weren't just like fucking ragtag penalties or just little like foo penalties. No, the Detroit Lions defense was causing these penalties. Josh Pascal busted through a double team, had to get tackled, otherwise he's going to sack Anthony Richardson.
Yep.
So the offensive lineman made a choice to tackle him. That's a penalty. You throw a flag on that. Aleem McNeil, similar situation, busted through the interior offensive line. They had no choice but to grab his helmet and try to cheat him off of that. They had to set a pick to get one of the wide receivers open. Like, these are flags because they have to do these dirty things to try to get a one-up in this game. They aren't just like little bullshit flags you see the Detroit Lions get all the time, or you see Terry Arnold get all the time. No, these are genuine flags that deserve to be there. And it's because the Detroit Lions defense is on that ass.
Yeah.
So, no, I don't discount this defense is doing. Especially because I've been defending motherfucking Glenn.
They're the second best defense in the NFL. You can't question them. Flat out. Like, we're what, 11 games, 12 weeks into the season, and they're the second best defense in the NFL? What else do you want them to be?
Without
Do you want
Hayden
them to
Hutchinson.
let these bad teams score?
Yeah, this is what you want to see.
Yeah.
You want to see your team take care of easy because they're not in your fucking class.
Yes.
So if you don't walk in a room full of 8th graders right now, if you lose a fucking fight to 8th grade, you're a pussy.
You're a pussy.
You're a bitch.
Yeah, you
but
are
if you
a
beat the
bitch.
fuck out of the 8th grader, you should.
You're the big
You're
bad
supposed
guy.
to.
Yeah, when I go around beating up little kids, I'm the big bad guy.
Yeah.
But if I get my ass whooped by a little kid, I'm a pussy. So it's a lose-lose situation. No, you have the food in front of you, eat it.
Yeah.
The Lions have the food in front of them. They're eating it. It doesn't matter if it's McDonald's or if it's Wagyu. Like, they're going to take care of business either way, and they're doing that. They're holding these bad teams without touchdowns. It's not like they're giving up 21 points or 30 points and winning 30. They are not scoring touchdowns against the Lions.
Yeah.
So they're not just beating bad teams. They're showing bad teams why they're bad teams. And that's what you got to do when you're a big dog, and they've been proven to be a big dog this year. Like I said, second in the NFL in wins against teams over 500.
They're not
so
even
they're not just
sniffing
beating the
double
bad
digits.
teams, they're beating everybody except for Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
And even Baker, I mean, they did a good job against
but they were
Baker.
good.
Like, they did
was a
a
good game.
damn good job against him
Lions should have
defensively.
won that game for
yeah.
sure. You play
So-
that game again, the Lions win by 10.
Now that's the game to take away those
Absolutely.
interceptions. That's a fucking W.
Yes.
Yeah.
We outgained them by like 200 yards or something
Yeah.
like that. Just untimely
And that's something,
interceptions.
too, you got to point out.
And some, well, we went over it.
You got to point out,
bury
too,
that one.
the defensive versatility of this team, the fact that it's been different types of quarterbacks they've beaten. Now, yes, again, they haven't gone against the top 3 quarterbacks, but that's only because of scheduling. But ultimately, this is a team that has beaten pocket passing quarterbacks. They've beaten scrambling quarterbacks. They've beaten all different types of quarterbacks. So not only have they beaten who's in front of them, but they've beaten different styles too.
And I hate this argument too, because like, show me the team whose schedule is Kansas City, Buffalo, Chargers, Detroit, Houston, all of them in a row. Just every week you play every best team in the NFL. Like, that's not how it fucking works. Kansas City almost lost to the Panthers last week. So would you rather see the Lions in a fist fight with the Tennessee Titans or blowing them the fuck out? Like, you're not playing Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen every single week in the NFL. It's not going to happen. You take care of business with who's in front of you.
Absolutely.